who? Harley?
No. Not Harley.
All right, this little bridge thing.
I am currently at school, locked out of the art studio because I moved studios and my key doesn't work on Saturdays. So I'm waiting for campus safety, the police, to let me into the building. I did get a coffee though from Dunkin' Donuts, so that's good. Keeps me warm while I wait. Today I'm gonna work on a panel for my friend for her birthday. I've painted 3 panels. I'll show you 2 of them here. I am about to finish gessoing my canvas. I'm doing a lot of layers because I already used this canvas before a long time ago. So the paint is literally cracking underneath it. This is probably terrible of me, but I don't want to buy stretcher bars and I don't want to buy new canvas, so I'm just gonna gesso over it. I have some panels gessoed and I'm gonna do an under painting on those, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. So yeah, in this clip I am gessoing my canvas that I'm going to use for my first painting for advanced painting. So I've already started this painting. Right now I'm speaking in the future February, but I'm working on it currently, and it is a scene. It's actually kind of interesting. So I wanted to do a painting for January that is a landscape that depicts what January feels like to me currently. And I knew I wanted to use a photo I took, a scene that is really dear to my heart. I studied the regionalist paintings last year for an art history project, and so I kind of want to almost be a regionalist painter for where I am. So what I'm painting is a snowy scene by a pond that I walk around really frequently. Actually, a lot of my landscape paintings kind of depict this pond in an interesting way. So I think it's just an interesting extension of that. But I knew I wanted to do snow. And I also wanted to get rooftops in it because I'm really interested in rooftops and snow and how you can see through the bare trees and it just looks like piles and piles of snow down the road up in the air. I don't really know a better way to explain it. It's just an artistic fascination of mine. But I didn't really have a good example of snow from this year showing that. And so I looked in my camera roll and I found a picture from where it had snowed 2-3 years ago, and that is the photo I'm using. And I just think it's really interesting that for the last few years I've had the same fascinations. Like I've been interested in the same locations, interested in the same scenery, and I think that this advanced painting semester is really going to show that through landscape and how I've been interested in the same landscape for a really long time. But yeah, so I was just gessoing that canvas here. Okay, so yeah, I have gessoed these panels and then this canvas. It's not a big canvas that I'm gonna work on, not too big. I feel like there's a lot of ridges in the panel or the canvas, but that's okay. I don't really mind working on a bumpy texture, but I'm trying to make it a little smoother. But yeah, that's what's going on. So I was able to work for about like an hour on my friend's painting and gessoing my canvas to start my painting for advanced painting. I'm about to leave to go help my sister with something, but yeah, I'm really excited about what I'm making. So I'm making a painting for each month: January, February, March, and April. And January, I'm using a reference photo that I took three years ago in the snow, but I'm kind of painting it with colors I like right now. And then February, so I want January to be very gray and blue and white. And I want February to be like pink and yellow and light and fluffy and very sweet feeling. But yeah, I'm so excited. I feel like this process of gessoing and priming and all of that is taking forever. But once I'm done with that, I cannot wait to start. So yeah, that's what I did in the studio. Tonight, I want to make a pork tenderloin. So after I help my sister, I'm going to run to the store and grab supplies for that. I have the pork, it's thawing, and I just need to cook it, and I need to get a few things at the store. Honestly, that's like, people ask me all the time what life is like being in school and being married, and I feel like that's the biggest thing, where it's like, I live far away from the school, so I feel like I don't get to spend a lot of time working. Like before I was married, I could come back here and help. After I helped my sister, I could come back here and keep painting, but I can't really do that now that I'm married, because I need to go home and I need to cook and see my husband. But I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like, it kind of stops me from working for really, really long periods of time. So that, I really wanted to talk about that, and I guess I will now. Like, I need to get better at carving out large periods of time, because I feel like I have been not getting a lot of work done at like one time. So I really want to start, I'm saying this on camera so it can hold me accountable, I need to start going to bed early, and I need to start getting up earlier. Like, I want to get up around like 6, but I've been going to bed at like 12, so when you go to bed at 12, you can't get up at 6. So I need to start going to bed at like 10 so that I can get up at 6, because I haven't been doing a lot of reading. Like, the reading goals and challenges I set for myself are not going to happen if I keep not getting up in the morning, because that's when I would normally read. So I need to start getting up earlier, and I also need to start going to bed earlier so that I can get up and read and get to the studio so that I can paint before my 11 o'clock classes. So yeah, because in the afternoon after class, I'm not gonna work, and I'm probably not gonna read, because I need to do like house things and my reading for class. So yeah, that's just something I want to get better at. I feel like I have been doing a good job though making art. I have finished three panels this year. I'm about to finish my 4th, which will be for my friend. You can look at those on my Instagram. None of them have sold yet, so if you're interested in purchasing one, you could. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update on what I'm doing right now, and some thoughts I was having about like how my routine needs to change. So yeah.
Going. Wait.
No, not again. No.
I already did it once successfully, just for the record.
Yes. So I want to end the January vlog with going over the books I've read this year, and books I'm currently reading, because there's a lot of them. So I'll start with the books I've read, because there's only 2. I have finished, for 20th century American fiction, I have finished Pauline Hopkins' Of One Blood. Sorry, this lighting is literally so strong. I didn't want to sit inside because I didn't want to disturb the people inside, so we're out here. So Of One Blood, was written by Pauline Hopkins, and she was an African American writer in the early 20th century. I did not really care for this book. It kind of felt like a soap opera to me because he discovers lots of secrets, and he is a medical student who needs money to support his new wife, and so he goes to Africa to basically discover a treasure, but he goes as a doctor. But while I didn't necessarily like this book, I did come to appreciate and understand early 20th century American, African American writers better who were in America. And we, in tandem, we were reading different African American like poems, and we read some Martin Luther King for Martin Luther King Day, and we also read some of the magazine that she published this as periodicals in. So I feel like overall I have a better understanding for African American literature, but I didn't really appreciate this, but I did grow an appreciation for those writers. The next book that I have finished is A Christmas Carol. This is probably not going to pick this up easily. By Dickens. We read this in Victorian literature, and I love A Christmas Carol, except I've read this one 2 times before this, and usually I appreciate the movie better because the book, I don't know, every time I just don't enjoy reading the book itself. So actually this time reading it was the first time I really enjoyed it. I feel like I enjoyed the descriptions and Scrooge himself a lot more in words rather than on screen this time, and so that was really, really fun to appreciate A Christmas Carol in a new way. And also just reading in a class and discussing it with people, I feel like really helped me with that. So the next, I'm going to talk about the books I'm currently reading. So I think I've mentioned this one before. I mentioned this in my 2025 reading challenge. So I challenged myself to read through a bunch of different categories. So one of those categories I challenged myself in was poetry. And this is a book of poetry where Malcolm Guite has taken each psalm and created a poem for it. And it's just brilliant the way he has done it. And I am on Psalm 34, so I still have a good way to get through, but I think I'll get through it this year and complete it for my challenge. I love this. I have been reading this though since like October, so we'll see. I'm drinking some iced coffee out of this really cute mug that my sister gave me for Christmas. Like I said, the lighting out here is so weird, so I'm so sorry. The next book I'm reading is The Unmaking of June Farrow. And this is a very popular book, so I really won't spend much time explaining this one. Not that I've explained the others very well. But basically, this is a girl, and the girls in her family before her are said to have like mental illness, but nobody can diagnose it, and so usually they end up just going crazy. And I am 63 pages into this. I kind of think I'm going to finish it in a few days. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it's been a while since I've read just an easy, fun, popular book. Like I've said before, I don't usually read much in that genre because I don't like it. I'm not getting anything out of it. I feel like I usually read more for academic purposes than for just like, this is a popular book. So I am enjoying it though, and maybe I'm like, maybe I need to do this like once a month. And I got this book from the library, and I also got White Fang from the library, which I haven't read, so I think I'm going to check it back out because I want to read that one before winter's over. But I like getting books like this from the library because if I don't like it, then I can return it and it's no skin off my back, but it's also supporting the library, and I think that that's really good to do. I don't think you need to purchase all of your books because that's really expensive. And like, this isn't a book I would want on my shelf after I finished it. So, but I am really enjoying it. It's been kind of rainy here, obviously not right now, but it's been really rainy here, and so I feel like this has been perfect for the moody, creepy weather. The next book I'm reading is for 20th century American fiction, and that is This Side of Paradise by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald also wrote The Great Gatsby. Honestly, I don't really know what this is about yet. I've read the first chapter of it. The chapters are very long. So far what I'm getting is it's about a boy named Amory, I think that's how you'd pronounce his name, and he seems to be kind of a spoiled he comes across as spoiled and arrogant, and like he thinks he knows everything, but I think he thinks he's kind of misunderstood. So honestly, some Gatsby parallels maybe, but it is very interesting so far. I'm not sure I'm gonna like it. I usually don't enjoy reading about just rich people and their money problems, but I am enjoying it so far, so we'll see how it goes. I will update you on what I think about it once I'm done with it, which will be in a few weeks. And then the next book I'm reading is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I got this one for Christmas, and I am really enjoying it. I do really enjoy reading fantasy, but in all honesty, I'm kind of having a hard time, like, finding motivation to read it. Like, when I'm reading the chapters themselves, I'm enjoying them, but it takes me a while to get to a place where I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this chapter. So we'll see how long this one takes me. I do intend to finish it. I don't usually start books and then stop. So I'll definitely finish it and probably keep reading more of the series because I really am enjoying it. I think it's interesting. I'm just ready to get to more of the, like, action. And this is the first one, and he's younger, so it's just kind of establishing things. And the last book that I'm currently reading a few others, but they're, I didn't feel like talking about them because I've talked about them a lot before. But the last book I am currently reading is Haunted Cosmos. You might have heard of Haunted Cosmos, the podcast, because it's pretty popular. And the subtitle is Doing Your Duty in a World That's Not Just Stuff. And so basically it's written by Brian Sauvé and Ben Garrett. So basically what it's going through is kind of how the world is more than just what we think it is, and how there are different things at work. And I'm a Christian, so I think there is, like, angels and demonic forces at play, and this is exploring that in more depth. And it's been super fascinating so far. I just read the chapter on the angelic order and the host, and I thought that was fascinating. I haven't read much of angels, just in general. I've read the Screwtape Letters by Lewis, but that's kind of the extent of my angel reading. So those are all the books I'm currently reading and have read. Let me know if you have any suggestions for books I should read the rest of the year. I'm really not doing too well so far on my challenge. I just feel like it's taken me forever to get through stuff. So I kind of want to make a plan for myself, like break down, this is when you're going to have these books done, and these books done, and these books done. Because it's only like 20 books that I've established for myself. So I think that is really manageable for me. I just kind of need to be a little bit more disciplined. I talked about this a little earlier, but I'm just having a hard time, like, finding the time. And I think it's because I'm staying up too late. So I think I need to go to bed early so I can get up early. And my painting challenge that I set for myself is going really well. If you watched my last video, if you haven't, you should. But basically, I just talked about how I'm painting a acrylic panel every week of a landscape. And I showed some in my last video. I don't have them with me, but it's going really well. I've painted 4 so far. I'm about to start my 5th for the first week of February. So yeah, I haven't sold any yet. You can see them on my Instagram if you're interested in purchasing them, or if you're interested in giving me a landscape that you want me to paint. I just realized that I have to announce the giveaway winner too. So I'm going to do that today. But yeah, I hope you're all doing great. That's going to be the end of this vlog. I'm looking forward to doing a February vlog, and I'll see you next time.